Eugene, the reason why we're dancing is
Mm.
if you dance, you cannot think about something else. You cannot think about yesterday. You can actually not think about tomorrow. You can only be here. And when you really are in the moment, that's where all the miracles happen. Because now we experience seeing each other and hearing this song. And I tell you, I cannot have a body that's like this with the music. You have to move.
Uh,
So movement and present
yeah.
moment bring miracles.
Oh, boy.
So my beautiful ladies, Antoinette and Jazzy, I hope you can put on your camera even if it's just for a minute because I have a few questions that I need you to think about before I'm going to introduce Eugene. And then we can have Giovanna for our in-betweener. And then Eliana is going to come and do the main part at the end. So, first of all, if you can dream it, you can do it. Do you know who said that?
Walt Disney.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's not working. The yellow paper is not working. Yes, you are right. If you can dream it, you can do it. And for me, the last 2 years, knowing exactly what I want, not I wanted to be a TV host. I didn't know it's going to be so spectacular. I had my 13th episode on Sunday, but I know I wanted to be a TV host. I didn't know how, I didn't know who, but it was on my bucket list. And then I have started to dream and use my imagination. So, ladies and Eugene, if if you were in Akbra and you were Aladdin's lamp, and you can put your finger and wrap it, and the genie can come out. Or if you have a magic wand, what will be your 3 wishes that you want to have? It's so clear that you know what this is the 3 wishes that you want. Do you have something like that? If you are brave enough, you are welcome to put in the chat your 3 wishes. So, can I tell you,
Let's see.
while you're thinking, the 3 wishes is if you think about that wonderful 3 wishes, if you take one of them, if you take one of that beautiful wish, don't think about how, don't think about why, just that one wish. How will that one wish look in 1 year? How will that one wish look in 5 years? You know, guys, ladies, and Eugene, life is in any way going to happen. In 5 years, you're going to be 5 years older. But if you have a clear vision on what you want to have in 5 years, then, then the magic is beautiful. If you can say with clarity that one wish that you have written down in 5 years' time, I want to have that, and I have the action plans for that. Yes, in 5 years, you will be 5 years older, but your dreams have come true, and you didn't need a magic wand because you were the magic wand. You, my beautiful one, are your own magic wand. You are your own genie in a bottle, if I can say it like that. Genie in a bottle. All you need is a little bit of confidence, and you need a GPS or direction. You have to dream, use your imagination. And like Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And Eugene, the ladies know me now. If I have a mic, Alexa, stop! Alexa, stop! So I don't use a mic drop, but I say, are you ready for it, Eugene? Boom! Shakalaka. So, ladies and Eugene, if you can dream it, you can do it. So, it's such a wonderful pleasure to introduce Eugene. So, I met Eugene and Jayashree. We saw him on his function that he arranged for one of the people in my life that I love very much. Well, he's not my Superman anymore. It's my first Viking. He's now my Viking. But anyway, that's another story of another day. And Eugene was doing the PR work, and he was also the organizer for and his team, the organizer for the event. But he came and spoke to us about social media. Wow, ladies. I mean, he is sexy as hell. I'm sorry. I am 58, but I am not blind. You see, I'm not blind. But I thought, wow, he is so incredible. He is beautiful. But the way that he spoke to us from stage, it felt like I can change anything. Like Jay, just give it a heart, because that was so amazing, Eugene, what you have told us there. And I know that that next day I have asked you to come and speak to us on clarity. I knew exactly what I'm going to ask you to come and talk. And you said yes. And you are here. And so I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking time. I know people pay a lot of money for your time. I know. But you are doing this for us. And I cannot even comprehend to say thank you. I had I have the Afrikaans words for that, but because we've got English ladies, I don't have the right vocabulary in English to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to say
Anytime.
so I'm going to put you on, ladies. I wanted to ask because Eliana when she's also going to speak, you need to see her in full. So you can actually go to the view button and you can click on speakers mode. And I'm going to put Eugene on speakers mode. And there you are. Eugene, you are welcome to tell us a little bit your understanding of clarity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanet, and sorry for the bad quality video. I hope it doesn't interfere too much with the message. And I'll start off with a bit about myself. While I do that, if you can all tell me, are you in business, or are you wanting to start a business? Or are you in corporate, or whatever the case may be? If you can just kind of pop that in the thing, so I just know a bit more about my audience. I enjoy speaking in front of people. It's been a while since I've done a webinar, so it's I used to do this on an ongoing basis. And I'll tell you a bit about my story firstly. So I started my first business, part-time business, was selling perfumes, these knockoff perfumes, believe it or not. That one of my full-time businesses afterwards. So Netta, just quickly, how long do I have exactly? 20 minutes, eh? Yeah. Okay, so 20, 35.
I will let you know.
And
Okay.
thank you. And it came to the point where that business was making so much money, and it was all cash money. And I got home one afternoon early from work, before my that time fiance got home from work. And this day she decided to come home early. And as she walked into the room, I had the shoe boxes filled with money, and I was busy unpacking it and busy counting the money on the bed. And she told me, or she came in, she saw this, and obviously had a shock, because I was earning a very small salary at that point in time. And she asked me, Eugene, are you selling drugs? I'm not telling you to stop. I just want to know where the money's coming from. And through that process, I then started my first full-time business, which was a tech business, and again made money. Through that process, I still realized that I was making money, which was the perceived thing of where we want to go and what we want in our life. And although I had all this money, I was still feeling empty. I was still feeling depressed. I still didn't feel like I was achieving or doing all the stuff that I wanted to do. And it's through that process that I started learning more about specifically clarity, but a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And one of them is digital marketing. So I went through a process of spending a huge amount of money on other companies to market my products and my services. And after 2 years and a crazy amount of money, I still had 0 customers. And then I realized something needs to change. And as we all have it, we want to change from an external perspective. We want something else in the world to change or someone else to change. When true change comes from us reflecting outwards. Most people, you obviously probably know it, most people are mirrors to us, so they just mirror back to us whatever we're putting out there. And then a big thing for me is what you fear comes upon you. So whatever you fear, that's where your attention goes. And wherever your attention goes, that's kind of the stuff that you attract back. So law of attraction, right? So through that process, I started learning that. And we hear this all the time. My obstacle that I had at that point in time is, okay, cool. I need to change. I'm willing to change. What needs to change? What is the process for me to be able to change? And what parts of me do I need to change? And where do I go find the information to change? And that's when I started discovering a couple of different models. So I'm not going to share a whole bunch of that with you. I'm going to share one of them with you. First one, just a quick one, is the Ikigai. I don't know if anyone heard about Ikigai. So it's a Japanese thing that talks about your passion, your purpose, what the world needs, and what you love. Now, the first thing that we do in business, and especially when we want to create more wealth, because I'm assuming everyone wants more money, right? It's almost that money is this never-ending thing. Each time you reach the next level, it just seems like there's another level and another level, right? So I was on the same journey. And when we look at the Ikigai, the passion, purpose, and what the world needs and what you love, we start off with the thing that we think is going to make money instead of what do we have a passion for? Because we go through this entrepreneur roller coaster, right? Some days you feel amazing. It's like things just happen. I don't know if you've had those days where it's just everything's in flow, things happen, customers are calling, it's just everything is bang on. And then you get other days when nothing wants to work and you don't even want to get out of bed and you think, I want to sell everything and go sit on an island somewhere and drink a mojito. I don't know if you guys had those days. I still sometimes do. They still pop up every now and then. And the thing about it is when you reach that stage, what is it that takes you out? So Simon Sinek talks about start with why. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Simon Sinek, start with why. I still don't know what my why is because we make it out to be this big, big thing when it doesn't necessarily have to be that big. What if I just really enjoy what I'm doing? That is a big enough why, is to live a life where I live my purpose and I live my passion. And so I spoke about that, and then someone told me, Eugene, you know how do you find your purpose? I was like, please tell me, because I've been searching for this for years and years and years, and I still don't know what my purpose is. And he says, you do a whole bunch of stuff and you see what you like. That's your purpose. I was like, I really love that simplicity of it. So through that journey, I went on almost like this maze. So you're walking through this woods and everywhere around you is just mist. And you can see a tree here and you can see a tree there, and you've got this mist. And if you look from the top, you could see that the edge of the forest is just on the side. And I had to go 3 more meters than I would have been out the forest, and I would have been in this clear space. But then instead of going through, I turned left. And then I was in more mist with more trees. And so it circles around. And I realized that I was overcomplicating this stuff tremendously. It's not as big a thing as it really is. I was looking at this work-life balance and work in your business, not on your business. And you have to know your why, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And what that created was a lack of clarity. Because now I had all this information and I had no way of implementing it. People were telling me you need to work on your business, not in your business. And what does that even mean? Especially when I'm just starting out the business. Okay, now I'm going to work on my business. Who's actually going to pick up the phone and make the sales? Who's actually going to go out and see the customers? How am I supposed to work on my business? Who's going to generate the income? Because that's what it's about, is I need to make enough money to pay my bills at the end of the month. And now, you're coming telling me I need to work on my business. So it's all this contradicting information. And probably about 2 years ago, I discovered, maybe 3 years ago, a point of clarity that just broke me through all that noise. And I realized that the biggest point for me in clarity was simplicity. We totally overcomplicate things. 20% of your actions produces all your results. Now we hear again all of this stuff. So to break it down, one of the things that we do, so me and my fiance, we set our intentions. On a Sunday, we set our intentions for Monday, or on a Monday morning. And we've been probably about 85-90% for the last 2 to 3 years. We've been doing that. Every now and then we wake up in Spain and we decide we're not going to have intentions. We're just going to enjoy going to the beach today. But I guess that's also intention, right? So we set our intentions. And what I realized is setting 1 or 2 or 3 intentions, not outcomes, intentions. This week, I want to live in full alignment with myself. I'm going to live with integrity. Not I want to, I am going to. And then by changing a few words in our intentions and then taking away all the noise and focusing on myself first, all of a sudden the business stuff started gaining clarity. So what does it mean looking after yourself first? Is I started exercising three days a week. And I've been doing that for 4 years now. Now, where that came in is before that, I had this stuff about I need to exercise 7 days a week, and I need to eat this food, and I need to eat broccoli 4 times a week. I don't even like broccoli. Now I have to eat it 4 times a week. Like, where does that come from? But it's all this outside information that we go through. And then I listened to a podcast of Tony Robbins. I don't know if you guys know Tony Robbins. So part of my routine as well, every morning I listen to a video, and 80% of the time it's a Tony Robbins video. And it talks about that, about setting goals and setting intentions. And he said, imagine someone comes to you and they say, okay, you have to eat a carrot for the next 3 days. You're not allowed to eat anything else. Would you be able to do it? And 95% of people, yeah. If the reward is big enough, I can eat a carrot for 3 days in a row. It's like, okay, but it takes 21 days to form a habit. So I'm going to give you carrots, and you're going to go on this carrot fruit juice diet thing for the next 21 days. And you realize again, if the reward is big enough, 80% of people will do it. Then they came back to those people 9 months later, and not one person had anything related to carrots in the last 2 to 3 months. So does it take 21 days to form a habit? No, it doesn't. It takes 9 months. So he said, set your intention for your habits for 9 months. And then they did the study. Because now if you say 9 months, you're not going to exercise 7 days a week and eat carrot juice or carrot for breakfast and carrot juice for dinner. You're going to fit in something that will align with your lifestyle that you can execute even when you're traveling. And by doing that, now I started setting goals. That's 3 times a week. And the funny thing that happened is I started exercising 5, 6 times a week, but there was no pressure. There was not this external thing and this failure and all this sort of stuff that put me in a downward spiral. So coming back to it, having 2 or 3 things. Now, the challenge that I want to say to all of you is go and think about. So Sanet was talking about what's your vision, what's your goals, and all that sort of stuff. Now think about that and then think, what is the 1 or 2 or 3 things, never more than 3, 1 or 2 or 3 things that will give you the biggest chance of success to achieve that, and focus on that. Everything else, delegate it. Delegate, outsource, employ, partner, barter agreements. There's so many different ways of getting the stuff done. And you focus on the 2 or 3 things that gives you the biggest amount of energy. Because if you work in a high level of energy, then you operate in a state of flow. That's when everything just happens and you don't know why everything happens. It's because you're operating in a state of flow. Now, if you're an extroverted person, you like talking to people and you want to speak in front of people, I see someone commented on you that they want to speak in front of people. So you've got this extroverted, high energy sort of thing. And now you have to go sit behind your computer and do your financials for the next 6 days. Are you going to be in a state of flow? Probably not. And then it takes you so much longer to get back into state of flow because you just drained all your energy. Vice versa, if you are a person that likes numbers and spreadsheets and you sit there doing all the spreadsheets, now all of a sudden you have to go out and you have to go speak to people and you have to generate sales, and end of the month you didn't reach your target. Are you going to be in a state of flow? Probably not. So that's why it's important to pick the 2 or 3 things that gives you the highest level of energy, that is in your state of flow, and that only you can do. And if you focus on that, all the other stuff will automatically happen. So I don't know who's heard of Roger Hamilton. So he's got a book, Millionaire Master Plan, I think. But it's about scaling up the different levels of business, which is quite interesting. And then he's got a wealth dynamics profile test. Now, this comes from Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. They got information before them, even from I Ching. Now, I Ching, also known as the Book of Changes, was the first book to start talking about the archetypes and different personality profiles and different types of energies and different types of people. And this is thousands of years ago. So no information is new. Any information you have or that I have, we just take in that information, package it in a way that makes sense to us, and we put it forward, and the people who think the same as us, that likes the way that we package things, they will interact with us. Now, the information about the I Ching comes out of a whole bunch of different energies, and this is a 3-hour topic, which I want to break down the most important part. So imagine a square. At the top is spring. So it's spring energy, where babies get born, where new things start happening, etc. Then we move on to summer. And on the summer phase, this is when babies start getting bigger and they start playing with their friends and all sorts of stuff, right? And then we move into autumn. Now we need to start collecting all this stuff because we don't know, winter's going to be hard. I don't know if it's going to snow. Is there going to be food, etc. So we start fattening up. We start making sure everything's in pieces. And then we go into winter. Now we need to ration all this stuff out. Now we need to make sure we've got enough food to last us the entire winter. And then we move into spring again, and then babies get born. Now, your business and your personality and everything moves through the same process. Now, the spring energy, this is most of the time the entrepreneurs. They're really good at starting a business. They're really good at coming up with ideas. They're really good at solving problems. And they also not so good at finishing things. Now, most creators or guys who are in spring energy, you'll know that because you've got 10 different things that you're busy with and not one of them is complete. I don't know if anyone can relate with that, You wake up in the morning and you've got 10 new business ideas, but the first business hasn't even left the ground yet. And you've already got 4 other business ideas, right? Now that's a creator energy. Their question that they ask is what? Then we move on to the summer. This is your salespeople. Now your idea is born. Now you need to get it out to the masses. Now you start talking about the babies going out. They're a bit bigger. Now they start playing with others. Now they can go out. So after the idea phase of your business, then you move into the sales part of your business. This is where you need a supporter who's going to support you and take you through the process of your business and getting in front of the right people. Their question that they ask is who? Now we move into the autumn phase. This is autumn. Now we need to start making sure. So this is, for example, your service delivery managers, those type of guys. Your business has an idea. It went out, made a whole bunch of sales. It grew. Now you need to start getting systems and processes in place to manage everything. Maybe you start franchising, whatever the case may be. And then you move into winter phase. Now, Warren Buffett, I don't know if you guys know him, best investor in the world. He talks about, he learned it from Benjamin Graham, the last few puffs out of his cigar. So that's the winter phase is almost the last few puffs out of a cigar. That's at the end of a innovation cycle. For example, banks getting disrupted by crypto, hotels getting disrupted by Airbnb, taxis getting disrupted by Uber, and. Airbnb, biggest real estate company in the world, yet they don't own real estate. Uber, biggest taxi service in the world, yet they don't own one taxi, and. So it's the new innovation. So when a business gets to the winter phase, that's when it needs to innovate to move on to the next stage. Now, on the autumn phase, their question is when. It's all about timing. This is a lot more grounded energy. It's a lot more timing energy. Then we move into the steel phase, which is a very dense energy, a very hard energy. And the question they ask is how. Now, when it comes to clarity, I've got 3 minutes left. So when it comes to clarity, and this is my point of clarity, notice between yourselves and between other people, when they ask a question, when you say we need to do this and this, the first thing they start off with is how. But how is in the winter phase. It's the last question that you ask. It's steel energy. It's very dense. It's very difficult to move. It's very rigid. Yet we start a question with, yeah, but how am I going to do that? When we should be asking, what strategies do I need? What is the product that I need to launch? What is the market that I'm going to launch in? So you start with a what question. Now, clarity comes from figure out what you want to do. Who do you want to do it with? Who's in your team? Who's your partners? Who's your suppliers? What markets are you playing in? Who's your customers? All that sort of stuff. Figure out when you want to launch it and how it will automatically be there. So lack of clarity comes from moving into a dense steel energy without figuring out what you want to do and with who you want to do it and when do you want to launch this product. Go and test it out. So second challenge for you tonight is go and test this. Next time you come up with an idea or problem or new product or new service that you want to launch, go and write down what is it that you want to do, who do you want to do it with, and when do you want to do it. You take the what to the who people, to your salespeople, your brainstorm partners, etc. And you say, this is when I want to launch it, and watch the magic happen as they come up with exactly the process, how you need to do it. So my message for you, don't figure out the how. Figure out what you want to do and with who do you want to play this game, because every game has rules. If you play rugby, it's got rules. If you play soccer, it's got rules. If you play cricket, it's got rules. Play the game according to the rules. Figure out what you want to do. Who do you want to play this game with? Who's going to play in this game with you? And when do you want to start the game? And they'll figure out how to win the game.
Wow. Wow, Eugene, that's amazing. So, ladies, if there's any questions, you are welcome to unmute yourself and ask Eugene. Otherwise, just go to your reaction button and use one of those emojis. So I am going to use my heart. Thank you so much, Eugene. That was truly
Thanks.
amazing. You have mentioned quite two things that I don't know. So I will definitely, I need to investigate. You said about that book that you, the energy book that I need to go and investigate.
I
And
Ching.
what, say again?
I Ching.
I Ching, yes, I want to go and see I Ching, investigate I Ching. And then you were talking about another gentleman that has a book, something to scale up your business.
He just talks about the different levels of scale.
Okay.
So he was one of the guys that created a prism, but it comes from Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. And then Myers and Briggs was the first guys to create the actual 8 archetypes from Carl Jung's work. But what I was saying is the I Ching predates all of that stuff. So it's about the information cycle. If I can give you one book recommendation, the book is called How to Get Rich.
Okay.
Now, it was in my wish list for probably a year and a half. Oh, look who's got the I Ching Book of
Wow.
Changes. There you see. Amazing.
Wow. And she's all the way from Brazil, Eugene.
Well, and
Yes.
this book, by the way, was translated from German because it was Chinese, and then a German author translated from Chinese to German, and then so Wilhelm is the German author that translated
Wilhelm.
from Chinese, and then it was translated from German to English.
Wow.
Correct.
Yes.
Amazing.
I love this book, and I literally I throw the I Ching every morning.
Yeah.
It's also known as an oracle book, right? But
Yeah.
it's more of a guide. It's more of a guide. Yes.
Yeah, it's
I
just a
will-
guide.
Wow.
Yes.
And to
Amazing.
think that we are living that stuff today,
Yes.
so many years later, we're still living that stuff. So, yeah, no, absolutely amazing. A good book, How to Get Rich, was my wish list for years. And then, because I thought, how good can a book really be if the name of the book is How to Get Rich, right? And then I listened to the book and it was mind blowing. And then I listened to it probably 2 or 3 times again after that. I'm actually busy listening to it now.
Okay.
The 2 books I'm listening to now is that, and then re-listening a lot of Eckhart Tolle's stuff. I found that we listen to something and it means something. 6 months later, we're at a different state, a different vibrational level, and we perceive information differently. And then we get different information from the same book. Power of Now, yeah.
I've got
And then
also
his new
that
ones
one.
was The New Earth or something like that.
So
Elaine, well done.
thank you so
Looks
much.
like we're on the same journey. I need to come visit you in Brazil.
Wow. Thank you, Eugene, for your amazingness, and thank you for sharing
Yeah.
your wisdom with us. I know that you are having load shedding. If you can stay on, it would be wonderful to have you in our company
Yeah.
as the thorn among the roses.
Yeah. Pop in my number into the message box. If anyone has a question afterwards, feel to send me a voice note on WhatsApp and we can have a chat or Zoom meeting. It's always nice to meet new people.
So Eugene, your,
So I'll
your
just put up.
information is also in the bio that I have put on everywhere. So they're also welcome to connect you there. So if I then can
Yeah.
go over to Giovanna. Giovanna, you are coming to share your beautiful 20 minutes in a few weeks. So, but today you're going to do the in-betweener. And this is your first time sharing, but the ladies know you already. They were very fond of you on the TV show, my TV show. So we were very excited for you to come and share, even if it's just 5 minutes, your beautiful 5 minutes. Thank you so much, Giovanna. You are mute, Giovanna.
There we go.
There you are.
thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me again. Eugene, you said so much that's also on my in my heart to share with everyone. But truly, you know, clarity is, like you said, setting intentional goals. And when you're doing something intentionally, you're doing it from the heart. You have a purpose, because intentional means it's truly a purpose, done on purpose to achieve the purpose that we can visualize it. So, you know, I mentioned about looking at from a perspective of a GPS, right? You know where you want to go, and you get on the highway and you're following the GPS. All of a sudden you get into traffic, and you're like, you know what? I know I need to get here and I need to get this done. And you find a way and you get off, and now you're taking other roads, and now you're hitting some obstacles, but you know, you're like, I know I'm going to get this done. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And staying focused to truly what's coming within you, like your intuition, your will, your faith, everything takes place at the same time when you're intentionally set a goal. And you know, this is where you feel confidence, you're staying focused, and nothing's going to stop you. So all those bumps that you get are just you see them as opportunities. You don't see them as obstacles anymore. So I know I've been down this road a few times because I always challenge myself, because I know there's always more. There's always more for us. And I know we're growing. And once you get to a certain level, you want to continue to just give. And when you get to that point where you feel you want to give, you become very focused on the clarity of what you want to do and how you want to serve, because serving is the biggest thing that we can do on this earth and feel so grateful for. So I think, you know, I don't see obstacles anymore. I see them like, okay, this is something else I need to learn. This is something else I need to go through, because it's just going to make me a better person to know that. And always have that faith over fear, because the fear will stop us in our tracks. But if we can look at fear as just something that's trying to take us off track and off the road, we're like, you know, and just keep staying focused. This is the way to do it, right? I got a call coming in. So that's what I want to share, is just like keep your will and belief that you're going to get to where your goals are, no matter what goals it is, health goals, business goals, personal goals. The intention is there to do well, then you're going to achieve it for sure.
Wow, amazing, amazing. And Eugene, if you do have a few minutes, well, it's almost an hour, go and check Giovanna's speech or talk with them on my TV show. It was truly amazing. She inspired so many people. So, Giovanna, thank you for your wisdom. And I cannot
My
wait
pleasure.
for you to come and talk to us next time on your 20 minutes. And thank you for
Thank you.
being on the Diamond Beauties, giving us all your comments and your beautiful videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, my beautiful Eliana, it's your turn. So, you already came and did your 5 minutes, and I was so proud of you. I know always in the Speak Live that you have the ability to move me. And that 5 minutes was amazing. So, I actually cannot wait for today's session. So, we're going to go a little bit over about 5 minutes. I hope it will be all right with everyone. But Eliana, you are amazing. And I choose that song specifically for everyone, but specifically for you, because you don't even know how amazing you are. You are even more in my eyes than you ever think. So I'm going to give it all over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And before I start, I want to ask everybody to have a little bit of it's a what I call a household cleanup here, because I want you all to remember to take care of yourselves, because I'm going to share a few things and it might be triggering. And I want you, when you feel triggered, when you feel some pressure in your chest, I want you to take a deep breath, okay? And I'll explain later why that's important. But this is the story. There I was traveling with my family, right? It was my mom, my dad, my husband, and I. And a car came and hit us head on. They all died, and I'm the only one who survived. And I saw them dying. It's not like I lost consciousness and woke up in a hospital and they were all gone. I saw them dying. And from that point on, I lived my life with this video running 24/7 in my head that for many, many times I felt like going crazy. I went through PTSD, clinical depression, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, agoraphobia, and I almost killed myself 3 times. And it was hard because the last time my son, I married again, and my son was 4 years old and my daughter was 8 months. And I was so desperate for change. I was so desperate for erasing that from my memory that I couldn't see any other solution other than ending my life. But mind you, I don't believe that suicide ends any pain. I feel that because I believe in life after death. I don't know what's your belief, but I believe in that, and I knew that was not the solution. So I prayed, I read books, I had friends, I had therapy, Jungian therapy, and I did everything. And here I was in that pain again. And here I was in that rut of depression, of PTSD, everything again. And how could I find a way out from that after so many things that I had done? And it felt like they would work a little bit and then they wouldn't. They would work a little bit and then they wouldn't. So in that moment, I realized that pain, no matter how big or small we perceive it or judge it, pain is pain. And the way out of pain is one that we can choose the flavors. But from that chaos that I was keep finding clarity in every breath I took. And this is the first thing that I told you about. Take deep breath. If my story for any moment feels triggering to you in your chest, in your heart, remember to breathe, okay? Because now we know that every time you take a deep breath, your brain, yes, your brain allows you to relax. Because at every breath, our brain gets the direct message that it is okay to relax. And the stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, it starts lowering down. And the good hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin and endorphin, it starts increasing. We want that, okay? So remember to breathe. And amongst other tools that I learned the tool of tapping. If you don't know tapping is a modality that combines neurolinguistic programming with acupuncture points. And these points, when activated, they calm down the amygdala response, which is the one that leads you to produce more adrenaline and cortisol. It is the fight, flight, freeze response. Mind-blowing to me, because then I have the power to keep on choosing life. I have the power to keep on choosing clarity. I have the power to keep on choosing Because remember, choosing is a thinking process that comes from the prefrontal cortex. And whenever our reactive brain, which is the reptilian brain, is on, your prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, the creative brain, the intuitive brain is off, because they work like a seesaw. So this is why when you are in chaos, when you are in desperation like I was, thinking was out of the window, was not in sight. What do I need to do then? Take a deep breath. So your brain relaxes. And as your brain relaxes, reactive brain relaxes, and then the thinking brain, intuitive brain, creative brain turns on. And that's what we want. Now, for this moment here, I want to share this tapping tool. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times we find ourselves in that chaos, and it is hard to see the way out. Remember, reactive brain turns off the thinking brain, intuitive brain, creative brain. So we want that on. How do we do it? And you cannot think, but you can remember. Tap. And this point is one of 9 points that I teach, okay? And this point is in acupuncture, known as do my point, okay? And it is also a governing point. What that means in acupuncture, it's one of the main points that will affect your whole system. And you want that because you cannot think. So this, remember this, okay? So as you do this, this is my gift for you guys today. Think of something that is stressful today, okay? And it can be like, I'm worried about my time. I'm worried about an appointment that I'm gonna have later. I'm worried about a friend, family member, anything. I'm angry at somebody. I'm feeling resentful right now. I'm feeling whatever, upset, okay? And give it a number. So if you think of that negative emotion and think a number associated with this from 0 to 10, where 0, it's not affecting you at all, you don't feel affected or triggered, then that's not it. Choose another one. And 10 is I'm out of balance. I'm feeling like I can't breathe, or I'm feeling like I'm ready to fight. So look for that is 5 or more, okay? If you all have one emotion with a number associated to it, let's get started. And I want you all, I invite you all to basically think about that and repeat after me like an echo, okay? And the reason for that is the neurolinguistic part of this exercise, and we will do this together, okay? If you choose to. And this is how we go. Even though I feel this way, and it's very upsetting, I honor how I feel, and I still choose to love myself deeply. Second time that you're gonna be saying this and tapping this point, even though I feel this emotion and it is uncomfortable and I don't like it, I honor how I feel and I choose to forgive myself anyway. And third and last time for the setup point, this is also known setup point. Even though I don't like this, I don't even know why I'm doing this, I'll give it a shot. And I'm still accepting myself deeply. Okay, this is setup point. We are not gonna go back to this point, okay? Now we go to the other 8 points that I told you about. Eyebrows is right here and can be right, left, or both, okay? I usually like to do like this. And I hope you guys having me on speaker mode so you can see it. I hate this feeling. And then state your feeling that you came up with. Side of the eye, again, right or left or both sides. And I don't know what to do with it. Under the eye. And I'm tired of feeling this feeling. Under the nose, I'm open. That even though this feels a little silly. Under the mouth, I'm open that might be helpful. Collarbone is not really the collarbone, it's a few inches below collarbone, about 1 or 2. And it is uncomfortable to be doing this. Under the arm is about 4 fingers below armpit. This feels ridiculous. How can this be helpful? And top of the head on the crown chakra. But I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Eyebrows, because I want to stop feeling this way. Side of the eye, I want to feel better with myself. Under the eye, and I'm open that I can. Under the nose, what do I have to lose at this point? Under the mouth, I'm gonna trust. If it helped Eliana, why couldn't it help me? Collarbone, and I'm open that it can help me too. Under the arm, what a relief. Top of the head, what a relief. Take a deep breath. So now I would like you all to go to the emotion that you thought about it earlier, if you can. And then think about a number associated with that emotion. And if you could tell me who got the number going up, who got the number going down. Okay, so the thing is this, what happened, the memory that brought that emotion didn't change. Who changed? I changed. Because you see, the memory of the car crash where everybody in my family died, it's still there in my mind. And Antoinette and Sharon and Eugene, they all said they went down as well. Great. And the memory is still there. What happened is that you took the triggers out of that memory. And that is in your power. You will never erase whatever it is that brought that emotions that you thought about it. But you can definitely change how you react, how you behave to that. And that is a choice. And that is something that you can do every single time when you're feeling chaos and you're looking for clarity. Because remember, chaos, reactive brain activated. Clarity, prefrontal cortex activated. And you want that. And in order for you to activate your prefrontal cortex, there are several things that we can do. We can read a good book. We can do itching every day. We can pray. We can sing. We can dance. We can tap, do the tapping, and we can remember who we are. But remember, remembering is not something that the reactive brain can do. Remembering is a function of your prefrontal cortex. This is why I love the tapping, because I don't have to remember any of that. I don't have to think about anything. My prefrontal cortex is turned off, but I can definitely remember a memory muscle And this is something that I can always do it without thinking. So practice, okay? And remember to take deep breaths. So, and Antoinette is asking me, the words don't matter when we do it? No, because you see, words are a function of your prefrontal cortex, and you can't think. So there are no words at the beginning. There's just emotion. I feel so upset. I feel so angry right now. I feel so sad right now. I feel horrified. I feel worried. So you stay with your emotions, they start tapping, and the words will start showing up. And when the words show up, then you can start talking and having the script coming. Just remember, activate the points because your body knows. Your body is highly intelligent, and your brain is highly intelligent. So just do that. And that's it for today. I hope you ladies took something out of it. And I'm so grateful, Sanet, for this opportunity to have this time with you all. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Eliana. And yes, I do believe, ladies, that you enjoyed, and even Eugene, that you also said your emotion went down. So thank you so much for sharing it with me, with us. And I will definitely come back to you to invite you to come to the TV show. As you know, I am now can go on with my TV show. So this week I'm going to work on my themes and my guest. So yes, definitely. Thank you so much. So, ladies and Eugene, if there's any questions, you're welcome to ask. If not, I am going to stop the recording and